this was super funny to me from yesterday. James Comer continues to go on cable news and try to defend his nonsense investigation into the Biden crime family. He's either explaining away why the whistleblowers that he's been touting are either missing or non-existent, or he is doing things like this. And even Steve Doocy of Fox and Friends is quite skeptical. This is from Fox and Friends yesterday, when Doocy's kind of just asking him some very light questions about the nature of the Biden family investigation.
So make it easy for us. What was the crime?
Well, the crime is trading policy for money.
Which policy?
Well, we're going to get into that. I mean,
Okay. So this is what made me laugh. How, if you have an investigation, do you not know what the central accusation is?
There must be a quo there somewhere.
Yes, right. We've got the quid, but not the quo. All right, go back and we'll keep going.
It's funny because they had all these criticisms of like Trump criticism by liberals saying like, oh, you guys are you have Trump derangement syndrome.
Right.
And then they're reproducing like the dumbest, most ahead of their skis allegation or like defenses, allegations like this.
About Biden. And I just got to say, it just does not work in the same way it did for Obama and Hillary. Hillary Clinton was, I would say, very corrupt, very, very much so. And so she was an easy target. Plus, the Republican Party, because of her husband's time as being president, had a narrative that was teased out and built for decades in order to paint her as corrupt, and then she made it super easy. Obama was a black guy. That made it easy for them. And Biden, it's just like, okay, I mean, he's so
he's not woke.
Anti, right? From their perspectives, he doesn't look woke. I mean, Kamala's never out there, so we can't even boogeyman her. And so, let's go after his one living child, who has some addiction issues, and make that this big public spectacle.
Yeah, not that any of our kids have that issue.
Right. It is so silly, and I almost wonder if Comer is regretting how deeply involved he is in this fiasco. But here we go.
So make it easy for us. What was the crime?
Well, the crime is trading policy for money.
Which policy?
Well, we're going to get into that. I mean, look, Joe Biden has, on day one, he changed our energy policy in America that put China first and America last. He went in on day one and did the China Initiative, which was an investigation at all our public universities of a very organized Chinese spy ring where China was sending students to universities to steal our research and development.
So you're saying because members of the Hunter Biden family and the extended Joe Biden family got money through various foreign entities, including things from China, that the president is compromised?
Absolutely.
What happened to Burisma? I thought that we were talking about how this was a quid pro quo because Biden, as a part of like doing his vice presidential duties, warned the president of Ukraine at the time that the United States would not give the loan guarantees to Ukraine that they normally would if they didn't get rid of a corrupt prosecutor general. The right wing has entirely made up that this prosecutor general was Viktor Shokin, was investigating Hunter Biden. That is not something that was happening. And so I don't know how we moved from Ukraine to China here. Like, I mean, you guys are pulling something up. I don't know how we did that, but at the same time, I do know because it's just a complete fishing expedition, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, David and I discovered this. It's wild how much of this literally is one step away from what they really want to do is to agitate for war with China.
Yep.
And Trump's getting a lot of credit from people like Pulitzer Prize winning Glenn Greenwald for going against the uniparty pro-war uniparty, right? David and I, when we were on Left Reckoning, and that discussion he had with Brett Baer, where he's like, look, I won the election. He's like, no, you didn't. He's like, yeah, I did at truththevote.com. You go to Truth the Vote and you get shit like this. It's not just simply about voting. It's that China is the one who is affecting their voting. So stop CCP election fraud. Yeah,
let's watch the video. Right, they're hysterical on China. I just want to point out that I have been on this program, I think, immensely critical of Biden's hawkishness towards China. Yeah. It's been one of the things that I would say I'm like, I guess, proud of the fact that I've been harping on it. The fact that we reopened the United States reopened 4 military bases in the Philippines in order to antagonize China. The fact that we also did another deal with Australia in order to get our armed submarines to be, or the submarines at the very least, to be within the immediate space of China. We're antagonizing them militarily. The
CHIPS Act. We're not allowing them to buy certain types of particularly AI chips, even though they're made on Taiwan there. And
Pelosi going to Taiwan.
And if you guys will recall, credit to the Twitter account at Squirrel for reminding me of this when I was doing some research. The Solomon Islands almost like brokered an agreement to have a Chinese affiliate base on their land. Solomon Islands is a tiny strip of islands in either Indian or Pacific Ocean, and the ambassador there literally was like, "We can't rule out direct military action towards the Solomon Islands for brokering that deal." It's like if someone was like, "We can't rule that out if there's a base in like Memphis and in Kentucky or West Virginia was like annoyed by that or something."
Yeah, can you imagine if China put up a bunch of military bases and reopen them in Mexico or Canada or in Guam Guam, that wouldn't make sense to U.S. territory.
It's literally like the
Cuba,
the tiniest amount of potential American sort of brokering of military brokering military treaties that don't involve the U.S. It can inspire such an enormous reaction and such a caustic reaction. Yet we have bases all over the world that are kind of threatening to other countries
100%.
Just by their mere presence, and yet that's just that's
standard.
That's business.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, the CHIPS Act stuff is a huge problem. We have all this discussion over what do we do with regards to if China invades Taiwan, which has been an open question with regards to the entire history of the People's Republic of China and the Republic of China, right? Like the one state. This goes back decades and decades. That we are using economic warfare with regards to computer chips. And look, I don't believe in AI. I think what we might be saving China from investing in a bubble with regards to overinvesting in these computer chips, but they should not be banned from doing it on an island that's right outside. We should be free trading this stuff, actually.
Yep. All right, you want to watch
But anyway,
this?
this is Truth the Vote, which is ostensibly about, I'm worried about the elections. And what happens when I actually go to that website is I start to believe we should invade China.
Not just coming for Donald Trump, they're coming for you, they're coming for me.
What is your number one objective? What we have to do is drain the swamp in Washington, D.C. Until we drain the swamp and bring integrity to the political process, we won't be able to go forward. It's a big, dirty swamp. It's a big, dirty swamp.
The CCP has long been able to influence U.S. politics and has historically tried to co-opt both Republican and Democrat leaders.
China is one of the freest societies in the world.
This time around, the CCP made no secret of its preference.
What they said is China would prefer Joe Biden.
The rising China is a positive development. They're not bad folks. They're not competition for us.
Right under our noses, China-backed American communists from Liberation Road. The Communist Party.
I think you kind of got the point, right? So the the implication there, which is Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah, the one who visited Taiwan and antagonized China to their face. Yeah, it was absurd of her to do. Yeah.
And Joe Biden, they're controlled by the CCP. Maybe
these people live in a different freaking world.
Right.
Yeah.
The Uniparty, man.
August, submarine incident kind of put in perspective for me how expansive the U.S. world policing really goes. China can't do anything in the ocean without us knowing about it. Obviously, we're everywhere, but the tech is nuts. Yep. Jessica J. Easy C. I love Sam so much, but we should have at least one M majority report every week. LOL. We do.
Literally do. We should maybe have 2 or 3.
Yeah. Oh.